Welcome back to the rundown, everybody. We're back, the Jacket Bros, back in attack after a couple of weeks away. I'm super happy to be back to see everybody. If you're tuning in for the first time, this is a show where we break down film and TV. And today we're going to be doing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We just both recently saw it. This stream is going to contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen it yet, maybe come back and watch it another time. And I got a little banner down the bottom, just in case you come in later. But I'm really looking forward to talking about this. And seeing what my brother Anthony thinks of it and chatting with you guys in the chat. So let's get to it. Anthony, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing fine, man. But it's been a while. How long has it been? Like 3 weeks?
I think this is
2
3
weeks?
weeks.
3
yeah.
weeks?
I think this is 3 weeks.
Let's not make a
So,
habit out of that.
Yeah, you could get rusty. I was panicking coming in. I'm like, I want to talk about this. I'm going to forget
It
this.
feels so weird doing that. Yeah.
I should
We have
take
chat.
notes
I
sometimes.
hope we have chat.
Yeah. Well, we got Mr. Bob Dylan in the house, so he's been in the chat early. Thanks for being here, brother. I wanted to check with you, Bob, because you said, hope we cover Sisu. Now, I forget everything. So I'm just wondering, what's Sisu? Can you reinform us what that is? And we can definitely talk about it.
Is it like regular
can't remember the
Sisu
name.
or actually a Marvel Sisu kind of thing? Because I don't know a Marvel Sisu kind of thing.
Oh, is this a show, maybe? I think it might be a show. Silo, even? There's a new show called Silo coming out. Let us know, Bob, because I'm forgetting. And I love his comment here. Perfection. John will love it. Anthony will hate it. I don't know. I don't think you're going to hate it. I think you're going to love it. Because, honestly, Anthony, I thought it was a masterpiece. The more and more I think about it,
Yeah.
and I watched the other two films all together, like the night before, watched number 1, number 2, and then we went into number 3 in the morning, and I was just buzzing. I was just coming out of that being like, wow, they paid this off, they did this, oh my God. Like, as well as it just being an amazing film, I thought. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you think and getting into it. Really crazy. World War II era movie about the badass who takes on some Nazis. Oh, wow. I'll have to check it out. Sisu. Okay. Sick. Thanks for letting us know, brother. I'm always into checking that out.
Learning new stuff on the rundown.
Hell yeah. This is how we do. That's when I should have done the strike. Damn it.
Oh, Long Comment Guy is back. Andre has morphed into Long Comment Guy again.
He is back. Welcome back, Andre. Let's see what he's saying. What time is it? I said. What time is it? That's right.
Do it in a voice. Do a voice.
Oh, yeah, sorry. What time is it? I said. What time is it? That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, back by popular demand, your favorite hosts, Anthony, FPC, and John, Cheap Ass Mike, Iron Man. Let's go. Iron Logan, Iron Man. I'm Iron Lord today.
Iron Logan! Put it in WWE voice.
That's the voice I should have done. Fucking hell, I even messed that up. Hang on. That deserves a strike, don't you think, ladies and gentlemen? It's a strike. You know what we do. Oh my God,
that's where you do something right, not where you do something wrong.
I'm changing the narrative.
You know how we do.
Oh shit! Oh, thanks, brother. Thanks for being here. Looking forward to being back and chatting with you guys. I super am. So I really am. AJ's back. What's up, brother? Hello, friends. Hope all as well. Your biting dude
Not
has
Tony's
arrived.
today.
Perfect. Let's see it. And we all know who he is.
The crowd goes wild.
Andre says nailed it. Yes! Screen grab that. We're just waiting on our lovely production head, Often, to arrive. So hopefully when he comes in, I want to thank him. The slides this week he got me were fantastic. Much better than I could have done. So I can't wait to use those. He had plenty. He had like bloody 40 to choose from, mate. So he spoiled me with a wealth of different pictures to grab from. So shout out, Often. You are the man. And I'm looking forward to
We should gift Often something. No, let me correct that. You should gift Often something.
You know what? I might just do that, actually. I think he deserves it.
Do it.
Definitely thinks he deserves it.
Do it.
All right. Leave it with me. And we'll hook him up.
Yeah.
No shit, John.
No shit, John.
Oh, guys, super excited. Well, look, with the slides, what
Yeah,
I've
you need
done
a
is
roast
I grabbed the
video
20 best.
now.
I do. I don't have one. I think I have one now.
Oh, that's hot.
Even funny because it's so late and it just didn't work. So the slides, I just took them as best I could in order from start to finish, but just with moments that I thought we should talk about. So interested to see
Cool.
how we go. We got 1 6-figure focus. Shane, what's up, brother? Thanks for being here. And he's jumping in with
Hey, man.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was an MCU win. Epic. Love it. It was so good.
You're not here often with us, right, Shane? So you need to hang out more often.
Yeah, come on, Shane. Join the chat. Let's have some fun, brother. Looking forward to talking about this. All right, well, let's do it, guys. Let's bring it up and let's just start cracking into it. Anthony, at the start. Now, you just saw it last night, right? So do you want to kick this off? Remember this scene from the start of the movie? You saw it last night. It's super fresh in your mind. What were your thoughts at this point?
Yeah, so for me, I saw it, what was it, 10 o'clock this morning. And now it's
Nice.
23:40. So I actually seen it today. I didn't have a lot of time to digest it, but I think we'll be fine. This was these were the down in the gutter Guardians. I really like that it picked off of the Christmas special. I like that they do it like these one-offs, and it actually means something because you see them
Yeah.
over here settled, and you know exactly where they are.
Yeah,
But they're
definitely.
a bit more of a Bruce Willis and Die Hard bum now than they were in the Christmas special.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've also rewatched that Christmas special, and I think it does, like you said, plays in so well. It makes us more comfortable with where they are. So then when they get attacked right off the bat, it's actually a pretty epic fight. Now I've had time to digest, so I think that's where we could bounce off each other today. You've just seen it; and it's fresh in your mind, and I've been sitting on it for a while, rethinking about it. So it'd be interesting to see our takes on different moments. But you're right. The start it made it feel way more comfortable. To me, it's just kicked off not long after Christmas. Maybe I don't know if they state the time in the film that it is, or how much longer it's been
Yeah, I
since
don't
the
know,
Christmas
I don't know.
special. But I don't
But
think
they
they
seem
need
to have
right?
been settled down there. And did it start with this or did it start with Rocket?
It started with Rocket. So yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, I've just tried to grab pics that are as close as to. But yeah, it starts with him.
Yeah, and that's
Which I
the
like.
tone of the movie perfectly,
Yeah.
because we already knew that it was going to be the High Evolutionary, so we already knew that it would go a bit into Rocket's origin, but it went. It did a lot of Rocket's origin. I really loved that.
Yeah.
To be honest, if I'm going to grade this movie, I would have been completely satisfied with only the Rocket origin parts, and I would have been satisfied. And everything else that comes next to that or after that, between that, it's fine already. It's just cherry on top of the cake.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely cherry. And you know what? That I totally agree with that, because I loved in this movie how it wasn't an end of the world type scenario. Really, in a way, the main focus was about saving a friend and going with Rocket. Just seeing his origin ties like what I really came away with after watching the others. It tied into how he was in those other films, and you'll see clips going around online of moments that it refers to. Where he's talking about being torn apart and that a lot. And it just paid off so many things for me as well, which I just thought the movie was about completing story arcs,
Yeah.
and wrapping up a team as opposed to end of the world, got to save the day. And that, I think, is why a lot of people are probably refreshed and coming out loving this film, on top of all the other great stuff that it does comedy-wise and just action-wise.
Yeah, so I was kind of thinking about what this movie did so well, what other content like some of the series or Star Wars content hasn't done well. And I was kind of thinking that any franchise or any content that Disney has very good hold on, and gets to decide the direction it goes. I think they create their content from the outside inwards, and I think James Gunn is an extreme at doing it the other way around. And what I mean by that is that I think Disney goes about it just first specifying their demographics, and I think then they'll think about what is our demographic and how do we want to keep it, and how do we get more of that demographic, and then which elements do we need to include in the movie to get that demographic, and if the story writer comes up with a story that doesn't fit that narrative, he just get booted, and they get another story writer to fit that skeleton, and then they fill things in. And I think James Gunn does it the other way around. He just gets pitched a few characters, and then he's thinking, how will I make these characters interesting? Then he's throwing it into a story, and then that's the skeleton, and then the rest will get fit around that. So, and I think that's what makes this movie this great. And he obviously he said that Rocket has always been the main character of Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't know that before 1 and 2. I only heard it in an interview he did for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but I didn't know that, to be honest. But it makes total sense. Well, at least for this movie it did. This was totally a Rocket Origins movie.
Yeah. Mate, and this is why, like, you know, I'm gonna sound very overhyped on it today because, like I said, I have been marinating on it. But I've actually been listening to some podcasts with James Gunn from a few years ago. One on a show called Inside of You, and I just love following and listening to how he goes about his creative process. And I think he just gets it on so many points. Like I was thinking about, this is a massive ensemble film. He handles an ensemble so well. I mean, you think back when Avengers first happened, you're like, oh, you've got Joss Whedon managing, you know, they bring him in because he's used to managing a big group of people like he did with Buffy and shows like that, having multiple main characters. But James Gunn, like, really has that. He's doing that with these Guardians films because he has so many characters and he ties in so many stories. I mean, Drax, I'm getting ahead of myself, but Drax's story arc of realizing to become a father, as a father, that hit home with me. And then you think back to what he's motivated. Freaking hell. Like you go back to the first film and he's on a quest to, who wouldn't if they lost their family? He's on a quest and he was savage, and that's how you see him. You know, and then whether you agree or not, they made him more of a fun character, which I really enjoyed. I love his comedy, and I think he's some of my favorite parts of all the movies. But to give him that, as well as it being an origin Rocket story, as well as tying up Quill and Gamora, which we haven't even got to, regardless of the others, to give us Drax that as well, I thought was a perfect ending. It didn't need to be anything other than that. That's what it was meant to be the whole time, I think. Him to realize that he's a father.
And James Gunn loves the characters he makes movies about, but he also loves his actors or his friends, because he puts everyone he knows in all of his movies all the time. So he seems like such a loving guy to his content and to his creative team. Yeah,
hell yeah. I guess before we got a few chats, so let's just get into them and see what these guys are saying. 1 6-figure focus. Shane says, "Great point, Iron Lord." Thank you, sir, for using my name today. Instead of an Avengers level threat, official name, it was a hashtag family level threat. Made us care more about Rocket and the Guardians. Yeah, I completely agree, mate. I think that's what why we're so hyped up about it, because just the beats that it hit and you know what? Emotionally, it was very charging. It doesn't need to be an end of the world to be emotionally driven in. But a lot of the time, that doesn't resonate with us, seeing an end of the world. It's just more to see the action and the fun. More intimate, real stories like this create higher stakes, therefore bring out more emotions. And we're seeing it, and he's a master at doing that.
Yeah.
In all three of these films, rewatching number 2, I fell in love with Guardians 2 again. And the Yondo ending, me and Lani, they're tearing our eyes. You know, Yondu's going like, holy shit, like the song choices. We haven't even talked about the song choices, how they bring out the emotion. I'm a big song guy.
Dude, how much water do you drink every day with all the tears you shed for every content you see? Isn't water expensive in Australia?
Hang on. That is it.
Oh, that's hot.
Right.
Damn.
That was on point. AJ says, "Okay, I like this movie, but I've got a slight villain. Oh, take ya. I think it was so successful because it was the characters we've known for so long. It's not new ones. Uh, yeah, I reckon there's a bit of that, but also because it is just like an epic film. Just a
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I agree that we love the characters, and what I think that he did really well is that he kept his characters
Oh.
consistent throughout all three movies. He didn't change the motivation in an illogical way, and he didn't change the power levels, and he didn't change the characters. So I think that makes for solid characters. I think we love all of the characters equally. I think, especially with the Christmas special with giving Drax and
Definitely.
Mantis some extra podium.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't think I needed new characters in this movie, to be honest. Oh, we got Adam Warlock, of course, which is like a major one, but I didn't need Adam to make this a cool trilogy.
Mm.
And I really thought that the origin story of Rocket was a masterpiece, and I also
Yeah.
think that we've seen arguably the best choreographed and filmed and executed fight scene in the whole
Yes.
MCU.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there, like even Mila was watching. Okay, guys, look, when I take my daughter to the cinema, now, of course, because I love going to the movies, my daughter doesn't because that's what happens. Kids don't want to do what their parents want to do. My dad wanted me to play golf. I hated golf. Like it's just the way it is. But
Dad
even
wanted me
she,
to play golf. That's like upper first world struggles, dude.
but-
Man, I had such a rough life. My old man wanted me
wanted
to
to
play
play
golf,
basketball.
and I didn't.
I wanted to play basketball. Okay. But I've lost what I was going to say. But what was it? Oh yeah.
You went
So
to the
even
movies
she
with
was
Mila.
watching. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Even she had the iPad down for most of the film and was watching it.
Yeah, and we know
and
she
was
has
okay with-
impeccable taste, right?
She damn it. Yes, she does. As we know, you are her favorite YouTuber. Yes, that is correct. I would do the burn but in a matter of time.
She's a girl of culture. Yeah.
Where are we? We're back to
AJ
Andreas.
with this a villainous point of view.
Oh yes, and thank you for that, AJ. So I hope we covered that. Andre says I cared more about Mando when it was the smaller story and the bounty hunter. Boom, nailed it. Yeah, I definitely cared about Mando season 1 and 2 more so than season 3, and because of those themes. And
Yeah, I think the same
end
could
of
be said for Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, and I just think that they didn't have a lot to say about season 3. That's just it.
I think a lot of I think there's some stuff going on behind the scenes possibly there with that show. AJ, he's like James Cameron. He keeps using actors he likes to work with, which I'm all for. Yeah, definitely. Because and with that, it's same with anything. With sport, the more you play together with certain people, the more you learn their moves, the more you learn their strengths and weaknesses, and you work better as a team, and you can work off each other. It can be exactly the same for creating art, and so having the same people, a lot of people use the same crew all the time. So it only makes sense if the actors get along and they produce good results that he would want to keep working with them. I think that is a key to his success. Not because of it. I think that is a key to why he's so well respected. You look how Dave Bautista went to bat for him when he got fired originally. They will ride or die with him. Yeah, man, so good. Bob Dylan, wow, what a burn. Yeah, he did burn me. Tears of joy. Thanks, Andre. Tears of joy, Anthony. Okay, and just when storytelling can hit you.
There's no tear shaming here. This is a safe space, and there's no tear shaming here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Bob says it's a rare treat these days to get a trilogy directed by the same person. One cohesive vision, definitely.
Or actually a vision. I think sometimes a vision actually is lacking.
Yeah, and think about it. The first film was about potentially ending worlds, and that was a big storyline. Number 2 was about family again, like a father and son, and boyfriend and girlfriend, and all the different family type life stories put together. It's human stories that we all relate to put together in a fantastical way. And all he's telling when he's telling us, because I love delving into how people tell stories and things like that. And I look at it as he's just telling a story. If I was writing this, I'd be like, I'm telling a story about family, and I'm interweaving it into the fantastical Star Wars esque. That's what he talked about when he first created it, being inspired by Star Wars to create a space opera and using these characters to tell their stories. Like just marketing.
Yeah, I don't know if it's me, but can you turn the mic a bit?
Well, maybe I'm just blabbering.
I don't know. No, maybe it's me.
Look,
But,
okay, so
what I
let's
forgot- what I
just
forgot to
quickly,
mention-
if I can,
Oh, yeah.
if I can,
Good.
I was going to buy a new mic. Sorry. I was going to buy a new mic, but then I got Rocket. So,
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. But you got a great deal on him, so yeah.
yeah, got a great deal on him. Got to do what you got to do. Sorry, Anthony, I interrupted you. Continue.
Yeah, no, I'll do it later when we see Floor and Thieves.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I should probably change pictures because
Yeah, do it.
I might have to
Do
blitz
it.
through a couple.
Do it.
I'll just quickly grab on the last 2 chats. Anthony has grown from crystals into beautiful butterfly with his buds. Damn it.
Thank you, Andre. I
Yes,
don't have to
Sensei.
rely on you and often anymore for the burns.
And Bob's right. Christopher Nolan does as well. Christopher Nolan's literally my favorite director, so I completely agree with that. James Gunn would be up there now too, actually. Adam Sandler too. Yep, he's got his style. Works with the same people,
Cool.
and I think they're all key to their success. Now get Rocket to build you a new mic, John. Damn, that is money. Thanks, friends. That's a good one. Another burn. I'm getting burned. All right, well let's
I don't
continue.
know if it's the mic or the internet or whatever. I don't know, but it just
Damn it.
he
You know what
just
I think? it
mutes.
is?
Or maybe it's the taste of the mic. But he just mutes you every now and again, and then he crackles up. And
Sorry, guys. Look, I think it's the actual internet. I've been looking into it,
Could
and I
be.
think I need to get a message StreamYard about it. And they said I might need to plug in an Ethernet cord, so I will get myself an Ethernet cord. I didn't get one through the week, and I thought I'll chance it again this week.
oh, you're on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I'm on Wi-Fi
Oh
right
wow,
now.
dude. Okay. Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I've been doing Wi-Fi forever though. So
Yeah.
I apologize if that's affecting the audio quality. I will definitely get the Ethernet cable
Yeah.
this week. But then we get Adam Warlock. So just let's, I guess, touch on him. What'd you think of him and his story arc? What'd you think of him and his story arc? Sorry.
Look, I think if someone did not like the movie, it's either that he didn't want anything to know about Rocket's origin, or you are more invested in comic book version of Adam Warlock than I am. Because I'm not invested emotionally in the original Adam Warlock. And I could see if you are, then this would be an eyesore. Because Adam Warlock over here is more like Petit Prince, Little Prince, the book, with a small child discovering the world. And it kind of did that with Vision and Thor and, you know. But he's more like a toddler with no understanding of anything, but having temper tantrums and being strong as hell. Because originally he was like the space Jesus, with his own
Yeah.
little little counter Earth, with it being the only superhero on counter Earth. But I like the way they did it, to be honest, because he has a lot of room to grow, and if Groot isn't,
Nail on the head.
yeah,
sorry.
yeah. So I like his part.
Yeah.
I just see this
you-
as a separate entity from the comics.
Yeah, I see this. Look at it. He's a young actor. He's shown he can work hard to get into that shape from what he was before. That is a character trait, to be able to be someone who can dedicate to build up like that, regardless of
So
what help.
where would I have seen him before? Because I don't think I know him.
I've seen him in a few things. He was a scrawny he played a very scrawny young kid in a Jennifer Aniston and Jason Sudeikis movie where they've got to smuggle. He was like pretends to be their son, and he was very skinny. He's been in like Maze Runner. He was in the Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio, and Tom Hardy. So he's been in some good stuff, but I think he's got a bright future. And I just think this is just
Apparently.
this is a beginning to have a character that we're going to see grow over time throughout. I reckon Guardians will be back, or there'll be something around Adam Warlock. I think he's a young talent that they're going to focus on using down the road, especially because they've
Yeah,
chosen
of
a
course.
character like this who has this
Of
big comic
course,
book lore, right?
of course, Adam Warlock will be back, right? You can introduce Adam. It was already a problem that you introduced Adam Warlock at the end of 2, right? And then use him again because he was. I actually thought that that we would get him in Endgame. That they would delve into the Soul Stone and that we find like a world with
Yeah.
Adam Warlock getting people inside the Soul Stone and all. I thought that would be
Yeah.
the story we got. And it's a bit weird that with Endgame they kept everything off. It's sealed, tight, shut. They start another phase, and we still didn't get Adam Warlock. So that was a bit weird. So it's fun to see him right now, and yeah, of course we'll see him again.
Yeah, we'll see him grow and mature. Like they said, he
Yeah.
came out early, so
Yeah.
that gives them story arcs to have him grow and mature and be this. He could be another lovable type.
Yeah.
Imagine a solo story following him, figuring out the world. It's like they've done. That's a trope that they do in movies. The young kid in the older man's body type thing, or just the young bumbling fool who matures and grows. So I think there's a lot more to see for him. So I was
They'll
happy with
do
what
it a
I
different
saw.
way
His
because
action stuff
Groot.
is sweet.
Yeah, they'll do it a different way because we had Groot for a bit, we had Vision for a bit, we had Thor for a bit doing that. So they won't do it that way, but he will make brash and stupid decisions because of it, I think.
Yeah, definitely. You could see the way they have Thor at the moment. You could see him being a character along with Thor. Imagine
Yeah.
two dumb bros. I hope they don't, but yeah, you get the
Yeah,
the
but
way
then
you can
done right because 4 went a bit
Yes.
over the line.
see- yeah, definitely. And that's how a director's influence can affect a film when they're focusing on too much funny. Okay, so that whole first action sequence was epic. Absolutely loved the fight. Was awesome, I thought, and it showed how strong he is.
Yeah, and it showed
that was-
Nebula with the new gizmos.
Oh, mate. Yeah, I've got a picture of her using one of those later. She was again just another fantastic character arc, and I just loved everything that she did in that film. She was
Do
great.
you think Bucky's arm went into all the nanotech that she brought with the vibranium of Bucky's arm?
Maybe
Right? Because
I
they're
didn't
picking up.
I didn't think about that.
Because they picked off not right after, but they kind of picked up after the Christmas special, and it ended with the arm also. So I was kind of thinking that's Bucky's arm, but then transformed by Rocket.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That could very well. It would have been cool if they explained that.
Yeah.
If that
Yeah,
was
I'm fine
what
with
they were
this.
doing.
I'm fine with this. He got to spend some time with Tony Stark, and he's more intelligent than Tony Stark probably, so he'll know how to work nano stuff.
Yeah, and it was fantastic. Like, let's get into those slides. I just Andre saying I'm investing $2.99 per month into this channel. After YouTube cuts and taxes, that leaves at least one to go towards that mic. Just the job it's designed for.
A negative Trustpilot review. Yeah, and mind you, he just has to buy like a UTP cable to connect his laptop to his internet.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do now. I will do it this week, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I promise.
Those dollars go a long way. Just wait
Yeah,
3
thank you.
months and then he's going to be good.
No, I will get the cable this week, and hopefully that'll make a
Cool,
difference. So
cool.
We'll do that.
Counting on
Bob
you.
says, "Meet the Millers." Sweet. That's the movie he was from.
Yeah,
Thanks, Bob.
Toy Story's not
Toy
going
Story.
to help.
Yeah.
Or was he like the neighbor kid? Because then it is helping because he actually looked like him.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure what character was in that. Maybe that. Then we get into he messes them up. Rocket obviously is dying. If we move the story along, they figure out they need to get the kill switch in him taken out. But then we go into this backstory, and the next 3 slides I have are about. I kind of just put these next 3 pictures to go over Rocket's journey while he's
so what's the
knocked out,
next
if you
one?
like. So the next one is when they're all together.
Yeah. Okay, so because of you, John, since Moon Knight, I really can't watch movies anymore without thinking about what I objectively and subjectively think about the movie and how I would
You're welcome.
voice that in the rundown. That's your problem. That's your fault and my problem. But so when I was watching this, I I really loved this. So to me, even if they would have botched the rest of the movie, just because of Rocket's origin movie, this movie for me would have been at least a 5 out of 5. Because do you know did you used to watch a lot of Japanese anime?
No, no.
Because there's the Studio Ghibli. Look, Japanese can invent weird stuff in their content just because they don't have a lot of free time, so they invent the weirdest shit in their series and movies. And there's this classic Studio Ghibli, who did like the greatest animes there are, and this felt so much like a Studio Ghibli concept with Floor and Thieves and Lila there, and Rocket being altered and having their own life and trying to create some fun and bonding and having friends and hoping for another outcome. Yeah, if any part in the movie would tear me up, it's all the Rocket parts.
Did you cry?
No,
Was
I
there a
didn't.
tear?
But
Did we get a breath of the tear on the eyelid? A
no,
wisp
not
of
yet. But
a memory of a
those
tear.
were. But I think I was emotional during the movie, during the whole movie, with all the Rocket parts. This was actually enough for me to love the movie.
Yeah, this shot here, when they go to that, like it also like the animal cruelty part. It really did make him a villain you can hate, or really feel like to get. It's a quick way of getting you to really dislike a villain by having just the way. And the actor is amazing. He was amazing in Peacemaker, and I thought he did a great job in this. Fantastic job. Which is he did it without a ton of screen time, but he also did get quite a bit of screen time, and we did get to learn enough about him to understand what he was doing. And that's another thing, when you can understand what the villain's trying to do. Marvel have been great. I feel they've been great at building great villains throughout their films. Not always, but a lot of the time they can hit really good beats to make you like Killmonger's one of the great examples of you feel for him, but he's you shouldn't, but they do a good job of giving you life is not just black and white.
And the confronting thing about this is that behind closed doors, for all the products that we ingest or use on our skins or whatever, there are so many still animal testing going on and other experiments on animals, and scientists still doing experiments on animals for God knows what, for everything. We just don't know about it, but they're at least as horrific as the things this guy is doing. We just don't see it, but we accept it.
Yeah, as a I guess a footholder in building, technology and advancing our civilization. Our civilization. That's tough. And I think that whole aspect of what Rocket and his friends go through, and that you see they're so innocent. They look kind of hideous, but they're so innocent. And I think that was a really good visual thing that they did, having them be so sweet and happy, but they just you would look at it and you'd be like, that's a scary looking character. So I think
especially Floor.
Yeah, especially
Floor.
Like you really feel for them. Like you really feel for like they're so positive still, even though they've had all these traumatic things done to them. Man, it's just like he really found a good to add as the villain to tell the story. And because there's so much family stuff, you almost didn't need a lot of him, but the way he did it was fantastic, I think. And then we got this picture, obviously, where we meet him. I just thought that was a cool shot. I like that scene.
Isn't this towards the end?
It is but I've just put together kind of this background memory story so we could talk about it. That's kind of why I wanted to put it in there, and just introduce him and those characters, because I like how they interweave the stories throughout the movie. AJ says he agrees with the comment. I had a lot of heart. Totally agree. I may or may not towards the end, but it was pretty dark in the theater, so hard to confirm it. It's okay. Let it go. Let it rain. Let it rain, Andre. Then we come on to them going on a mission to. So I've skipped a bit. So they get boarded by Gamora and that, and then they go on a mission to try and find information to help
Kidnap
save Rocket.
Ratcatcher 2.
Yeah, I know. That was cool. That was cool to see her there. Look, me and Lani laughed our ass off when they shoot James Gunn's wife in the leg and she starts screaming hysterically. I thought that was just hilarious.
Yeah, look, the comedic delivery was on point. There were so many slapstick moments in the movie which were perfect. And also sometimes you thought they might go the cringe route, and they just didn't. Like when Quill is convincing the Ratcatcher to put him on the
Yes.
comms, and and she's saying, "Yeah, speak your truth." He's like, "Nah, I'm not that stupid," because they could have went the Marla route with him inspiring everyone and everyone doing the
Yes.
right thing and blah 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 blah. And I was cringing even before it actually happened, and I was so glad that it didn't. But I was thinking James Gunn just knows that people find something cringy, and he just threatens us with it, and we never know if he's actually going to do it or not. And then he steers away right at the ending, and sometimes he just puts it in. And that makes you on the fence again if he's going to do it or not. But he's actually brilliant at doing that.
Brilliant.
So
and
the
just-
shooting was awesome. The Drax throwing the ball in the kid's face was awesome. It's all these kinds of slapstick moments that work really well.
Yeah, Mantis like playing a prank on Drax when they're trying to get into the facility, even though it's in a serious moment. They're still like they're just vibing. I just absolutely love.
And
how he
also
builds
Mantis
that in.
always falling on her head. No matter where, she's always falling on her head.
Yeah, I think surely that's gonna kill her. Surely.
And
She-
the buttons, the color buttons.
Oh man, she really has grown on me. I absolutely love.
Yeah.
her
And the
character.
Christmas special helped, I think.
Oh yeah. I think part of that had to be to give those guys some shine because I
Yeah,
know that
probably.
they're all super close,
Yeah.
and they deserved it. And
Yeah.
even that pays off at the end of this film in the end credits when his dad's reading the newspaper. Even you
Yeah.
see that like just perfection, absolute perfection.
To be honest, I kind of hoped that Mantis and Drax would go together to
Yeah.
explore their world. They didn't.
Yeah, I would have liked that. I would have liked that too. But then I was also vibing off the being a dad thing.
Yeah,
And
that was
because-
cool. Drax the Dad, not Drax
yeah.
the Destroyer. And
Yeah,
when you think of it, he came to destroy just because
exactly.
Ronan killed his family. So he was always been the dad.
Yeah, it's time. It's
Yeah.
time to let it go. It's
Yeah.
like when the way he interacted with those kids, and if you've listened to Batista talk in interviews, you know he's that soft, gentle human being.
Yeah.
I just think that really shone through in his character too. He needs a lot more credit for his acting ability. I think. Just even with
Yeah, I don't
comedy,
know. Maybe
it's
it's
so
just
hard to be
perfectly
that funny.
cast, dude.
He could be. I don't know. What did Andre say? He's asked a good question here. I've never considered how doing these streams impacts the way you guys approach watching films. Does it spoil your enjoyment of it? I'll let you answer first. I know my answer.
Yeah, so I kind of feel that it enhances my enjoyment because whenever I feel a certain thing, I'm kind of thinking, is this just me expecting something or is it objectively bad? And then I kind of think about what it meant to the movie and why it happened that way. So I kind of feel like I touched deeper layers of the movie. And for me, it enhances the enjoyment.
Yeah. And I'll agree with
Also,
that. Anthony,
wait, because I need to remember this to tell near the end. Also, it makes that I need to digest a bit more during watching the movie. So this came to lead to my most humiliating moment in the movies, and my proudest moment as well, seeing my son react to it. So I'll touch on that later.
Hell yeah. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to hearing this. Looking forward to hearing it. And I'll just touch on and say, for me as well, Andre, like I've always been interested in, even throughout high school, I was into just film, TV, how to write scripts. I even, played around with writing scripts. I did plays, and like art stuff. I've always been into doing that. I did a few other things like in music and things. So I've always been into the creation of making art because I just loved how stories made me feel. So when I've always just had that watching a film. That's how I always think. I'm thinking about, I try to anyway. I'm like a lost puppy dog sometimes. I can just enjoy a movie for it being fun, but and I can let go. I can let go of bad storytelling essentially if I love characters and if there's other things that hit for me. But I also like thinking about if I was going to make it. Oh, I love how he used that song there. That song, like that song he uses at the end of Guardians 2. I look at that and I'm loving it for the moment and how it's making me feel. But I'm also in my mind going that I couldn't have picked a better song. Like things like that. So I love it. So it doesn't ruin it for me. It's just
Okay,
how I've
speaking about
always been.
songs, I'm kind of thinking that we didn't cover a lot of when they came to the what's it called again? Organocorp?
Yeah. Yeah.
Organ
Yeah, I don't have any
Organocorp?
more pictures for this, so
Well,
let's cover all that section here.
okay, so it was funny because the whole area was made from organic parts, and
Mhm.
if you know a bit about human body, but especially cells, it was especially funny to see because there was one point where I think Groot was supposed to fly in there, or someone
Mhm.
was supposed to go through a tunnel or dock there, and they were playing a song, and it had to do with sex. I don't know which song. Maybe you know because I usually don't
I
pay
can't
attention
remember
to
that one.
songs, but
No, I
I
can't
heard that
remember that
one,
one. So.
and that was funny because the ship had to go through like this organic tunnel, and the organic tunnel was like a copy of the cervix of the human
Yeah.
uterus. So it was funny that we were talking
Just
about sex, and it was like a sperm cell going into the uterus. And
yes.
also, you saw like the walls were made like it kind of seemed like the structure of fibers of plants, and others looked like human muscles.
Yes.
So that was pretty cool to see in the world over there. And you even saw something that looked like a mitochondria for
Yeah.
energy. And
Very, very, very interesting.
yeah,
Like choice of set design. Like very well done. Yeah. Like
yeah, and they
just
landed on just a piece of human skin.
it's crazy. It's actually crazy when you think about it. But just
Yeah,
different and fun, and the way they got there, and the funny colored, like the different colored suits, just add to the level of uh,
Space
comedic. You know.
Odyssey.
Yeah, just fun, vibrant,
Yes.
colorful,
Yeah.
energetic. I do just want to add on this sequence here when he talks about how he nearly ruined the universe, and
Yeah.
like that whole speech he gives in here was,
Yeah.
I think, really well done,
Yeah.
and gives you a lot of insight to where his character's at. Because I was pissed with Star Lord when he did what he did in Infinity War. I took that personally, but like this
He's like
really
the
pays
Rodimus
that.
Prime of Transformers, of G1 Transformers, where you blame him for the defeat. And but
Yeah,
he was doing our rundown job for Guardians 1 and 2. And
yeah,
when you come to think of it, it was a pretty weird if you do the rundown of this movie because so they need to go in there to save one of their friends, and then they do, but then three of
hmm
their friends get stuck on a ship, and then they need
hmm
to get three of the friends back, and then they do, and then the one
hmm
friend they try to save is get back at the ship for revenge reasons.
it's hectic, hectic. Uh, but this whole sequence again, so many fun bits. I wish we could have more slides for it, but there's
Yeah.
so many fun moments in that part. We're losing grip of where we're up in the chat, so I'll just quickly blast through
Oh yeah,
a
cool.
few. Sorry, Lukagi's in the house. He says,
Yo,
"I've been here,
welcome
but was
back.
actually incredibly still. I was incredibly still. I really like
Eating
this movie."
Zognuts.
Hilarious. What's up, brother? Lewis Labitz is in the house. What's
Yo,
up,
welcome
mate?
back.
Thank you for being here, sir. AJ says, so much fun in this scene. Blue is for
Yeah.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like
And
how Mantis was trying to prove a point, and she's trying to yell at Drax, but it doesn't come to Drax, it goes to Quill. And she's like, okay, I guess you're right.
Oh man, it was freaking hilarious. So many good beats. The bits with Gamora like snarling at him as well, I thought was great, and then having the
Yeah.
moment with Nebula, which I thought was just sweet. Andre says, "You boys are later than John's dead mic, but good to see you." I love that. Damn it. Andre says, "Anthony touching deeper layers and enhancing the enjoyment since 2023." John crying in the back. What a team.
What a
Yeah.
team.
Shit.
Hey, when did Moon Knight air? It must have been 2022,
It was
right?
a year ago. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a year.
yeah, it was a year
It
ago.
was a year ago. It's been a year.
Yeah.
Yay to us.
We need to celebrate when the figure's out.
Yes, we definitely do. We definitely do. Austin Nichols is in the house. What's up, brother?
Yo,
Thanks for being here, mate.
what is on his avatar? That's a box.
What's
That's
this?
Spider-Verse. Is it Miles?
What behind me? Oh, what
No,
he's got there.
Austin Nichols.
Oh, his picture.
Seems
I
like
think
Miles,
it's-
right?
Yeah, I think it is. He's also just started a YouTube channel, so go check him out,
cool.
guys.
Cool.
Yeah. So good luck with that journey, mate. Been following your journey on Insta and I think Insta and Facebook. Andre says, checking in, howdy partner.
And is it
And-
called Austin
Yep.
Nichols? The channel?
Yes, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Cool.
Yeah. Definitely Among Us vibes. Says
Yeah, it
Bob.
was Space Odyssey.
Yeah, it was.
They were all imposters. They were.
They were definitely. Even Nathan Fillion coming in again, like just those moments were freaking hilarious. Because he's good friends with him. He's been in all the Guardians films.
Yeah.
Good to see you, man. Okay, sweet. So we're caught up. Let's go on to. They get to the town, which again is more. Great
Yeah, the
work
timing
often.
on that was great.
Yeah, great
was
work
great.
often getting that picture. Shout out to you, sir. Just hilarious. Of course, Drax would do that. Why not? So then we get to like they go into the house. They're talking. They're trying to find the place, which is all
Okay,
cool.
wait.
Drax
Can
on
we
the
go
couch.
back first? Can we go back
Yes.
first? Because one of the things I was wondering was that, well, at the first second I thought it was a bit inconsistent. Then I thought, it makes sense. Like the way that he interacted with Rocket when Rocket was just like a little toddler doing the puzzle, he seemed a lot more loving to Rocket than him just being an experiment. He felt like a dad to Rocket, right? And then after batch 90, he says batch 89 was just like a stepping stone to something else. And at first I felt that was a bit inconsistent. And then I thought, he always sees a new project and he gets obsessed with that project and he doesn't see anything else besides that. It's like this Counter Earth. He just created like a fake Earth that he visited in the 1970s or something. And he didn't actually get Earth. He just saw the prettiness of it, but he didn't understand how foul it was. He thought that was the perfect society, so he wanted to recreate it with people made from animals, basically. And at that point in time, when he was creating them, he thought that would be the perfect society. And when it happens to not be the perfect society, he just incinerates everything and he wants a new thing. And he does that with every project that he has. So that's what does make him consistent. While at first I thought he wasn't. So I thought it was
Do you
a
think-
great character development of the High Evolutionary.
Definitely. Did you also get okay then with that then? Do you think as well? Because I took away when Rocket solved the problem.
Yeah.
I felt like he resented him for that.
Yeah.
He got so angry with him. How did you do it? Like,
Yeah,
I think that also played a part in him.
It kind of felt
wanting
like
to get rid of
he should be called Petty Officer High Evolutionary because it felt like he needed to have the honor of creating everything and him being like a megalomaniac, controlling everything and being like the mental father of everything. And now Rocket actually created the solution, so he couldn't take the glory of solving the puzzle and creating the race and creating the perfect world again.
Yeah, I
So
think he
kind of
needs to
that
be
that was
thinking
it.
of himself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he
thinking of
actually
himself as
says
the
the
highest
gods aren't
one.
around, so I stepped in.
Yeah, yeah, very big ego, and
Yeah.
I think they told that well with how they did it. Austin says he treated him like an old toy, made a new one, and discarded the old one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that. And
And
then
he
Bob
gets
sounds in with
obsessed. He gets obsessed, and
he
he doesn't
gets
see anything
obsessed.
else. And it's creepy
Sounds
anyway.
like a collector. Yeah, yeah. Always
Yeah.
consumed with the shiny new thing.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
Yeah. Bob sounds like you're the problem.
We're not collecting shaming here. This is a safe space.
Yes, that is right. We're all addicted.
We're all addicted.
We're all addicted. Moving on to this part. So I just added this because I wanted to talk about the first F bomb because I'm sure everyone's talking about it. But did you think it was weird that it was there, but also that's how people would generally probably talk maybe in a scenario like that. So it was cool
Yeah,
that he slipped it in.
I didn't notice it, to be honest.
Okay, that's fair play. Maybe I'm just no, I was focused on it because I watched someone talk about with Chris Pratt about having the first F word and how did he feel
Oh,
about. So like he got interviewed about this is the first swear word like that in Marvel
okay.
history, and then they talk about that they were he's been trying to squeeze in one for
Yeah, okay.
years,
So
and
that
he
must
finally
be a
got one
me
through.
problem then, because I didn't even hear it.
Okay. Oh, we don't have to we don't have to settle on it, but this reminded me of that, so I thought it was interesting that they chose to put it in there. I don't think it needed it, but it is more in line with how a lot of
I
people
like
talk.
them having some time together, especially with the scene they have after that one, and
Mm.
um, and also because the way that the door handled is exactly the way that the first car my mom had, the door
Mm.
went. When you see the door, you actually remind yourself of the way it felt to push that button and the handle. So
That's
it
right.
was great. It was great.
It was like infuriating. You could tell like I'd be in a rush too. I guess it is infuriating. That's what I would probably say myself. But yeah, having them together was cool. They just kept pairing everybody up really well. And
Yeah.
just before that, the scene on the couch with with Drax again, just laughing my ass off. I literally laughed my, and then he tries to sneak back down. Like
Yeah.
he
And
he
that's the
did it
fun
so
part, because he still thinks that if he moves slow, that people don't see him.
like
Yeah, I loved it.
shit, just
I,
good
dude, I
humor.
loved it. I loved it. Yeah.
Good humor. Freaking hell. Bob says they're paving the way for Deadpool 3, but Star-Lord gets to just drop the
Yeah.
first
So
F-bomb. Well, he's earned it.
ideally, I would want them to create like a sub-label, like Marvel
Mm,
Black or Marvel R, and just put all the dark shows in there.
yeah, I hope so. That'd be cool if
Yeah.
they did. Andre says, Bob isn't the problem. If we are honest with ourselves and really dig down to the root of the problem, you'll find out that it all begins with John's cheap mic. That's the genius right there. Well, like, yeah, I could have fixed the problem, but I picked up Rocket because Mike has been harassing me about getting a Rocket. So I was like, you know what, Mike, take that. I got the Rocket. I'm gonna pose the shit out of him.
Mike's not here. He just felt it
I know.
coming, and he said, "Yeah, fuck
Yeah,
that. I'm not there."
I'm getting it. I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna have it on here just to get him. It did seem realistic there, but I agree. I would have thought it would have been used in more of a rageful manner or something else. Yeah, I guess it's kind of fun that it was more in a human way of just getting frustrated with someone opening a door.
Yeah.
I thought it was just, it's actually, if you think about it, a really great day-to-day type moment, Seinfeld-esque type moment within, again, this big moment, other big moments that are happening. You still got these little mundane moments that can be frustrating. Actually, very cool. Okay, so before we move, one more comment, and then we'll move to the next slide. Oh no, that was it. Sorry. So then they get on the ship. We're moving along here, and we get to this battle scene. Holy moly! Another great battle scene. To be fair,
Yeah, this was a
power
great
up, a
battle
great
scene.
power up.
To be honest, I was spoiled by the hot toys, so I knew that the scene would be coming.
Mm,
If it wasn't for the hot toy, I actually wouldn't have known about this mode of Groot. I don't know because I don't watch trailers anymore. I don't know if it was in the trailer or not,
Yeah, it was
but I
in the
didn't know.
trailer.
I just didn't know.
Yeah,
So
it's in the trailer.
that kind of spoiled it. And
Yeah.
okay, so the action was good, but me thinking about the rundown again, I did see a lot of Mos Espa twirls in this choreography, but
Shit.
it made more sense because he had to twirl around Groot to shoot someone, and it was actually someone in the other direction. While on Mos Espa, everyone came from the same direction. He still twirled. That made it more stupid. But I could not notice it.
Yeah. When he jumps out the window and Groot gets the wings, that was again. Groot got so many cool moments of
We
him
will get
powering
that.
up.
We will get a toy of that.
Oh yeah, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
And after seeing his journey, and we haven't even capped off his, the end part with being able to hear him and what that meant. I think it was just great fan service. But yeah, this moment's epic. I loved it. I've got to add some new slides, so I'll just add those now if you want to talk any more about. I thought I'll start you off. I guess I thought.
Yeah. So. Yeah. What? Sorry.
I was going to say the High Evolutionary was he did a good part in this part of the film. I thought the way he made Peter wait, I thought was epic.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the dynamics between two people. Like, do you know how in Quentin Tarantino movies, the conversation are really slick and tight and have no fat at all, and they're so specific. And this is not that. This is far less. This is more on a comedic note, but they're still very tight, right in the pocket when it comes to delivery. And I can't really even explain why it's so good. But you can, their characters are so well portrayed that it feels like you know these guys, and you also know the things that makes them tick and don't tick, and what they love and what they don't love. So every time that Star-Lord is being commented on in that it's a trap, and he said it's not a trap, when you know it's a trap. It's a face-off.
Yeah, I love that.
And that gets repeated so many times, and then they're trapped. because Rocksteady and Bebop, or Rocksteady only, I don't know which one it is. What was the pig again? War Pig or something steals. Is trying to steal Rocket. So it's actually a trap, and he's still holding on to the fact that it's a face-off, and he makes it a face-off.
Yeah.
And at the ending,
that's who Peter is.
It's literally based for face-off.
And that's who he is, and that's what I love. Like, that's always been Star-Lord's outlook. He even says it at the start of the film. I just, I figure it out, like it happened. And I think they tied that into the end of the film well, because he mentions in the start of the film, he'll just go into situations not necessarily planned out, and he's so confident that it'll make it work that he makes it work. And at the end, you think he's not going to make it work, I think. Yeah. And I think they pay that off really nicely.
Yeah.
Bob says the Marvel Legends comes with it. So that had wings, I think. Makes the arms sense. Too. Yeah.
When in doubt, just twirl. Just do the Mos Espa twirl.
Lakagi says, I love how Gamora shows how hard it is to operate the ship Star-Lord pilots, and then seeing him struggle to drive a car. Yeah, hilarious. Hilarious. But also shows he's also a great pilot. Andre says, I haven't seen the film yet, but it sounds like the reason Anthony loved that scene is because he is invested in the characters.
Yeah.
It's everything in a story. You haven't seen the film? What? You haven't seen the movie? Andre, what? What? We're spoiling it for you. Where are we?
So you asked us if doing the rundown doesn't spoil watching a movie. But how is it listening to the rundown before you've seen the movie? Isn't that a bit of a spoiler?
Just a little bit. And we're so insightful, so I'm sure we're painting a picture here for you.
Yeah, we do. We are.
This scene excites me for Superman flying scenes by James Gunn. Just saying, I think he's gonna play around with that. I can see him having fun playing around with that, and I thought they made him look epic. And this scene where he's flying through looked really cool. And if you want to chat, we'll just cover the end of his story, I guess. Well, he's not the end, but
he's like a kid in a Ferrari, isn't he?
Yeah. He really
I thought
is.
it was a great concept. I thought it was great. I am curious though what he has in his head because it's obviously not enhancing.
Yeah.
Cool. It's obviously not
Yeah.
the Soul Stone this time. So I'm curious what they're going to say about it.
Yeah, I don't know because I mean, yeah, that's where it would have been, right? So I do not know.
Yeah.
But then he has a good moment with Gamora. They have a fight or whatever, and then she takes out War Pig, which I thought was cool. So he got some moments. Definitely got some moments. Him losing his mum is this is his origin story, guys. In a way, he's losing his mum. He's figuring out through the animal that he collects, that he doesn't want to necessarily hurt things. I guess that's the feeling I got from it. And he's I think he's seeing the Guardians and saying, "Oh wow, this is what this is what it's about." Not doing what I was being told to do to hurt people. I think.
Well,
Maybe I'm
I think
overthinking
it starts. I think it starts early because Aisha gets killed by the High Evolutionary, right? So at first they're trying to have like a redemption arc to the High Evolutionary to prove their worth. They're just trying to get Rocket before Rocksteady and Bebop, and then Aisha gets killed, which is like the only thing he has, because she's basically his mom, and then he sees the Guardians fighting the people that killed his mom. So the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? So I think that's the first part that made him join their ranks, and then of course him getting a second chance by Groot, I think, saving him, also helps him actually joining.
Yeah, really cool. Looking forward to seeing what they do with him too.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to think where we're at now. So then he gets the stuff, he gets back, he can't save Rocket. This was very well done too, I thought. Quite emotional.
Yeah, I thought they were going to use some ego or eternal or something power that Quill had, but they didn't, I think.
No, they didn't. Right? No,
It was
he
just
just
love.
comes back.
Just love.
It was just, and that's all it needed, baby.
Yeah.
That's all it needed. A little Deadpool 2 moment here of him talking to Lila in the afterlife before getting dragged back to Earth. Very Deadpool 2-esque.
Yeah.
But quite, like, it worked.
Yeah, it was.
perfect for
It
it.
was. Not
It
yet.
worked.
Not yet. Ancestral plane. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. That's where he was. That's a good point. Listening to the rundown and not watch the movie yet, it's a trap. Let me get the goddamn banner ready. It's a trap as me thinking John has upgraded his set every week at the rundown.
Yeah, dude, you need to...
Oh, that's hot.
That's Jim Jeffries, right?
Yeah. You son of a bitch. Moving on.
Moving on. Right along.
Moving on. I'm mindful of time, so let's bust through these. Anthony's got a secret mission, and we both have secret missions to complete today, so watch out, world. This whole sequence of them meeting these beasts again, having just watched the second one, it was fresh in my mind. I thought that's pretty cool. What did you think about them bringing these guys back and having this moment for Mantis? It's kind of like a little story arc again for her.
Yeah, so it's cool because they were battling this guy, these guys. What are they called? Arabests or Basilisks? Arabests, I think, right?
You're asking the wrong
They were
guy.
battling one of them in the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy, which was an epic intro or intro scene with Groot dancing and chasing the beast and getting angry.
So
while they were battling Arabest. I'm going to keep it Arabest. Also with him spewing all the colored kind of things. I like these callbacks where they show you something that you've seen before, because it really feels like you're invested in the world that he's been creating, and her using beast control like Grogu is going to do. That was a cool solution. So that was kind of epic. Yeah, it reminded me of the 3 foundlings that Bo-Katan came with. But actually, I don't think they'll roast him.
You don't think so? Yeah, it kind of gave her a little her figuring out her powers more,
Yeah,
which also
yeah.
leads into her journey at the end too, which is pretty cool.
She's actually
Figuring out what
useful
she
this
can do.
time.
Yeah, like she kicked ass in the Christmas special too, and that was cool that we got to see that the way she
Yeah.
fought.
Yeah.
Like, oh damn, she's badass. And look, she could nearly stop Thanos for a certain amount of time, so
Yeah.
that was pretty epic. Then we get to
The best
scene. The
fight
best.
choreography in the MCU. It's not only the choreography, to be honest. It's also the way it's filmed. It's almost
Yeah.
like the bullet time, how revolutionary bullet time was in the Matrix, with
Yes.
360 shots. Well, this wasn't 360, but it looked like a continuous shot with the cameraman just moving in between. And what's also cool is that you can see that it's a lot of the actors actually doing the work. And sometimes it makes that the movements aren't as crisp or pretty, but seeing their faces in IMAX and them actually doing the work, that was really cool.
Yeah, so cool. And it goes by like you're trying to take everything in. Like it's a scene I'll probably end up rewatching a lot, especially when I'm thinking of poses.
Yeah.
Like when I watch this, I'm like, oh, if I have all those characters, I could turn a Modu case into that hallway scene, and if I can get like grunts to
It's
have
Trap,
them
John.
beat up,
It's Trap. It's just the same suit all
That-
over again.
that would be amazing to have.
It's
a
like
show.
Team Suit Tony times 5.
Hey, just hear me out. Imagine if you were going to have a Guardians display, if you could only have one display forever, having the hallway fight scene depicted, having all the characters battling, I think would be a pretty cool way to have
With
them
the same
displayed.
suit 5 times, I would just pick the original suits to do it.
Anthony, go to your room.
And just put Yondu in there. Just for all
Yeah,
time's
yeah.
sake.
He has to. He has to. Ren says, Lakagi, sorry. Lakagi says, Mantis
This is the
Grogu
Grogu
of
of
the
this
universe."
universe. Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She is.
And again, perfect
And Groot
song choice.
also. Baby Groot was.
Yeah. Perfect song choice. Oops. Perfect
Yeah.
song choice.
Yeah, it was.
I thought. Yeah. Okay. Next slide was just another shot, I think, of this scene where I was just going to address her tech. So we already kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
But again, showing what she said Rocket did it. So showing
Yeah.
again how smart he is. With
And it's not
inventing.
only that, it's also showing the dynamics between them all. Because everyone is
Yeah.
a part of the team now.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't even touched on a lot of the stuff Nebula does. The way she logs into the ship, like, and connects herself was
Yeah.
really good. It's like showing she can do a lot of stuff. The way she gets broken and beat down, like, you think about it, she takes so many hits.
Yeah. when was the scene with Peter and her again? That he says,
In the
"Wow, I
organism.
never seen how black your eyes are." And
Yeah,
then
in
she
the
says,
organism.
"My father replaced them by way of torture." And then he says, "He picked some great ones." That was awesome.
Yeah. Just so Star-Lord. But yeah, she
Yeah,
was
his
great.
comedy is awesome. His comedy is really good.
I've loved her whole journey from the first Guardians all the way through Infinity War, Endgame, these films, to have her get where she's gotten. I think it was a good place to finish her off.
Yeah.
Being free of it all and ready to start a new life, I think is cool. That's what she needed. I think James Gunn did a great point of giving everybody what they needed, not what they wanted, but what they needed. Star-Lord needed to go back to Earth, and I just think they paid that off really well.
I think he was great at giving every single character a relationship with every single character. Like the way that her and Gamora had that grunt. They weren't like the friendliest, but they still had that grunt thing going where they understood each other. And every character had that with different characters.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the things. I think all those beats and all those payoffs and all this character development is what gives people the feeling when they come out of this movie of just loving it. And that I think
Yeah.
that's a very missed element in a lot of films that don't take the time to build the small moments. You don't need to have everything so goddamn big to care. It's the small moments that it doesn't matter what the big thing is. I didn't give a shit really about. I wasn't thinking about saving the world. I was just thinking about how are these guys going to get through this,
Yeah.
and where's it going to end. Anyway, then we go to. I just wanted to touch on Kraglin because he even got an arc with the dog. We haven't even talked about Cosmo, who I thought that was a very fun, endearing little relationship. What did you
Yeah, I
think?
liked Cosmo. I liked Kraglin. I kind of didn't like the way that Kraglin, after Yondu showing up, knew that it was a bit too soft on the heart, and that he needed to
Mm,
use his heart more, and then all of a sudden he could have everything. Um,
mm,
that was one of the cringy things that I hoped that he wouldn't do, but he still did.
yeah.
Um, Other than that, I liked the Kraglin part.
Yeah. Look, I'll kind of defend that a little bit because I think that he probably did the best he could with the amount of time he had to build Kraglin's arc. He's always had like a kind of very small arc, but I felt like they showed him a few times practicing, like where he
Yeah, but
accidentally stabs Gamora, stabs Groot at he
yeah,
stabs Groot at the end of no, he stabs Drax
but he
at the
really
end of
doesn't
Guardians
need to
2.
have like this heroic moment, does he? He could just kill one, and him
Yeah,
being glad that he actually killed one instead of
yeah, that's
having
true. I
friendly
guess
fired someone.
giving him I don't know, giving him a big moment, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I love
I can agree
the
with what you're saying.
yeah, and I love the bad dog, good dog moments.
Yeah, those were fun.
Look,
And
because
hey,
it's fun that Cosmo is like a smart, very smart dog, a very capable telekinetic
very
wise,
capable.
but still very petty on the bad dog thing because that's what dogs get hung up about. She's still a
They
dog,
do.
right? So that's
Yeah, that's right.
so much fun, so relatable.
So fun. So relatable. It was perfection.
Yeah,
Uh, like, how dare you? That's true. I didn't think about it like that. How dare you not say I'm good? Oh shit. We've got 3 slides left, and they're kind of just a few talking points. So one, I just mainly the background shot. I thought this was great to see them like that together, and just you kind of feel like we all know as the audience they're going into their last battle. It's getting near the end of the film. It's all coming down. This shot helped invoke that in me. This is it. This is the last battle we're going to see. How's it going to end? And I really had that anticipation. They've earned that. They brought that out of me. Like,
yeah,
how's this
yeah.
going to end? I'm invested. I'm invested. What's going to happen? I need to know. And then walking together,
This one they're
especially
going
when
back?
Rocket.
Is this one they're
Yes,
going back for the high? Okay, yeah,
I think so. Or if it's not, it's my talking point, I guess, of what reminded me of that. Like, especially when Rocket says, "I'm not running." He had so many great moments at the end of the film, rescuing the raccoons, like saying he's not going back. Just, I think they capped off his little arc really well. But I want to know
yeah.
how you feel about him not killing the High Evolutionary after just killing multiple other people.
Oh yeah. Before that, I was thinking about the feeling that this gave me. Well, do you know when, I don't know what year it was, but you had the X-Men movies, and it was the first X-Men movies, and it was fun. It
Mm.
wasn't great, but it was fun because there weren't a lot of superhero movies. And then you got Wolverine Origins, and that was dope. Um, this kind of felt like that, so, but not Wolverine Origins, but Rocket Origins. And
Mm.
so I thought his whole arc was the arc that I wanted to see.
Mm.
So him going back for his revenge or whatever, I was down
Yeah,
for it. I didn't really care what was going to happen. I just wanted to
yeah,
see it.
yeah.
So I'm fine
I'm
with him
gonna
not killing the High Evolutionary, but I think I would have.
Yeah, I think I would have too. The way I kind of thought about it, because I've been kind of thinking about that moment for a little bit. You could argue that it's silly that he didn't kill him because he's just been killing all these randoms, and he wouldn't kill someone who did all those things he did to him. You could
But
agree that that makes sense. But I think it's him becoming the leader that he's about to be. He's making the choice to be like that in that moment. I feel like that's him being, you know what? I'm not going to almost not going to let revenge consume me. I'm going to be a leader, and I'm going
yeah,
to
and I
do the
don't
right
think
thing.
they,
Maybe I don't know.
whenever they could avoid killing people, they did because, except for Gamora, because Gamora just was old school bloodthirsty, which was funny.
Yeah.
But Star Lord used his stun mode on his guns. He used
Hmm.
the taser things he put on the 3 people in the fight scene,
Hmm.
which is not killing either. Nebula also had like a stun mode, I think. So a lot of people used stun thingies. Not all of them, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was a good little. I felt like that could be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm going to take it as that, as him stepping up and getting past it to
Being the
focus on
bigger
being.
creature.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Another form of just another part of his intelligence coming in. He's better than that. I'm better than you. As bad as you are, I'm better than you. Type thing. I'll let fate
Yeah.
deal with you. So yeah, I can see it like that. I chucked this slide in as well, just because again, as I mentioned earlier, I thought he could have died for a
Yeah.
brief second, just because of the fact that he was so confident early in the film about when he talks about always going into situations and always getting out of it. I felt like maybe this isn't the time. But then I thought to die going back for your music would be kind of ironic, because he always went back for his music. He always risked, like he risks it in the first one to go back and get his
Yeah.
music. But I'm glad that he didn't.
Speaking
you
about
think
the
of this?
music, I really appreciate the fact that everything we hear is music that the characters are hearing, some way or another, either on the
Yeah.
Zimu or Zumu or Zumu, right? Or
think so.
or in the plane or somewhere else. It's always someone listening to music.
Yeah. Yeah, so I thought that's another good little story. Again, a story arc just continued out through all the films
Yeah.
that of what his character was like. He was always willing to risk it for something he cared about,
Yeah.
and he cared about his music. And I thought that was like, is that going to be his end? Is that going to be the way he goes? How do you feel as we get into the last slide here? This is the last one. I just picked this one because it represents near the end where we hear Groot, and I thought we could talk about that. But like, I want to know what you think about him not killing anybody off, and we actually have the happy ending, because I think that's the best thing he could have done.
So you
I think a
don't.
lot of people are expecting someone to die or something bad to happen.
Yeah. So we
but
don't even have a slide of Noah's Ark with all the
No,
creatures.
unfortunately.
So we had
No,
Space
unfortunately.
Jesus and we had Noah's Ark.
Yeah,
There's no slide. Um,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I only knew that it was the last one, so I was kind of afraid that they were going to kill people off
Yeah,
of the characters. And
yeah,
I'm really glad that they didn't. I'm really glad they didn't,
yeah.
because
What
the
about
legendary Star-Lord will return.
he will? And what do you guys in the chat think about that? Are you glad that they gave it the happy ending? Because I think it does. I felt way better about it being a happy ending than being a bad ending, or like a cliffhanger ending. It caps off a trilogy, and you really feel it, and you know it's more real because you know Gunn probably can't come back to do another.
Yeah.
But the road is still open for many characters. You know,
Yeah, do
I
you
was
think they
thinking
will
about it.
though? Do you think
I
they'll
think
they'll
they've left it
continue
open.
on with the new Guardians?
I don't know if they'll continue on with the new Guardians, maybe because of Adam Warlock. And Groot and
Yeah, I
Rocket are
think Adam
popular.
Warlock is going to be separate, to be honest.
You think so?
So
Yeah,
I
okay.
kind of think that they'll cameo in Avengers movies, and I was kind of thinking. I posted it on Facebook. So we have What If Ultron, and we also have this with Adam Warlock. So I was kind of thinking they would go into Annihilation Conquest with only Adam Warlock, maybe, and Phyla-Vell. Especially since we're going to have the Marvels also. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
thinking that the little kid will show up in the
Mm,
Marvels maybe as a cameo.
okay. Okay, that would be cool. That would be really cool.
And we still
I
have
think
like
that
this ending of Pip the Troll and... Well, yeah, they didn't
of
have...
who?
I think... Was it the ending of the Eternals with Pip the Troll and Arrow?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
We
actually,
still
yes,
have that
yes, yes.
hanging also.
Yeah, that's still got it. They'll come back to it, I imagine. I think it's definitely. Hear me out. I could be way off, but I think it's also left open. Imagine this, right? If they could pull it off, and I would be in for it. I want to know if all you guys in the chat, and if you're into it, Anthony. Imagine Star-Lord and Gamora finding their way back to each other at some point down the road. Because what backstory we would have for these two characters to then down the road have them meet up again somehow, and like that's a theme of a film that could be very, I think, successful. A story that involves maybe them getting back together. Could you see something like that happening, or do you think I'm way off?
Yeah, I wouldn't like it, to be honest. I would have loved Quill and Nebula to have like this thing, because she's always awkward, so they could delve into that, her being awkward and them being a thing. And I love Gamora just being savage and not that loving, to be honest, because
Yeah, fair enough.
Thanos also said she was like the fiercest woman in the galaxy, and I liked seeing that part of her here, and I would love it if they would stick on that road. But I think she's already been turned a bit, so I don't think she'll stick with the Ravagers. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and look, it could just be the end of the road, and that wouldn't happen. But we know they're definitely going to bring back Star Lord, which I think is
Yeah.
awesome, and I'm excited to see how he comes
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
So I thought we'd just touch on real quick the. I love the fact that us hearing Groot is not him saying the English words. So that's how James Gunn has said it. It's not
Yeah.
him saying the words. It's us as the audience finally.
Yeah, so the
understanding
fun
them.
thing is that,
love that.
that's the most embarrassing part of me watching this movie, because I watched this this morning with my son, who's 11,
Yeah.
and I was still digesting the movie, and then I heard him saying,
Mm-hmm.
"I love you guys," and I was like, "Huh?" And like
Yeah.
the second after, my son said, "Yeah, that's not him actually talking. They just understand what he's saying."
Boom. Boom. Mic
And I
drop.
thought, "Damn it!
that is
How
gold.
could I even think?" Yeah, and he's right, because his Groot's words wouldn't be "I love you guys." If it was actually his first actual words, he would say "I love you," and it would have been
Yeah.
stupid, because you can say "I love Groot." So him
Exactly.
adding the guys, you actually know that's just them understanding it.
Yeah, and us as the audience understanding him finally. That's how I don't take it. I'm like, that's how. That's
Yeah,
us
I think it's
understanding him.
them showing how close knit they are as a group. Them actually understanding
okay.
and showing that, showing Gamora that they understand or something.
Yeah, it was great though. It was,
Yeah.
and again another little, and then seeing what he's grown into, like bloody Alpha Groot or King Groot
Yeah.
or whatever the hell he is. He looks freaking epic.
Dude.
They gave a tree purpose and gave him great moments, which is just again credit to the how great James Gunn is a storyteller.
Yeah, I'm really going to be happy to, because as a collector, it's kind of a relief if it is the ending, because then you can say I have like all stages of Groot now, and you'll be fine having that, and then we're done.
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. I'll definitely be getting. I don't have any other Groots, but I'm definitely going to be getting that one. Looking forward to it. He just looks awesome. And
Yeah.
after seeing the film, this is as a collector as well. After seeing the film, it's made me know that, because I think about a lot about what I'm going to collect and what I'm going to keep. I don't want to just get stuff to get stuff. But after finishing the
me.
trilogy, I'm like, yeah, I want a representation of this trilogy and these characters in my collection, and I'm willing to invest in it because I'm going to rewatch this trilogy over and over. Like the enjoyment I got out of rewatching the first one and second one last week was just, I'm like, man, I can still really just vibe and get into these films. Like I'm in the zone of it, and I love that feeling. And I know I can go back to that when I rewatch them.
Yeah.
Andre says Guardians needs a happy ending. No other way to do it. Completely agree. Lukagi says, yeah, love the happy ending after the emotional roller coaster that was Rocket's story, but all have quite tragic backgrounds. They do.
They do.
But
They do.
is there anyone else we're not touching on for their ending? So I think it was great that he goes back to Earth to see his granddad, who's played by the same actor and everything, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And gives him a way to be on Earth, to maybe be involved in some more Earth things. You know, he hasn't got his celestial powers now. He's on Earth. He's a human. Let's see where that goes.
Yeah.
Drax becoming the dad, Rocket being the leader. He's still got Groot with him. He's built a new team. You got Nebula with Drax, which was a bit different. But the fact that Drax is going to be dad was awesome, and Nebula's got purpose. I thought was a great ending for them. Everything is still open. Like whether they bring him back or not, they've done a good job of giving it an ending with still leaving it open. Mantis goes off on to find herself. You could theoretically say, oh, that could be a movie down the road if they ever delve deep into that stuff. Probably won't, but it could. It could be a Disney Plus series. You know, it could be
Yeah,
something.
but then
you
someone
know?
else than James Gunn would be making those. So I don't know how I
Yeah.
would feel about them.
Yeah.
If they're good, I would love them, but I kind of doubt that they're at the same level.
Yeah, and that's a very important point.
Yeah.
It's not just who the character is; it's who is writing it and who's driving the vision and who's directing, and so that all comes
But
into play.
to be honest, I think I'm hoping that I kind of got a sense of what the creative process was like, and I kind of think if it's like collab movies, if they trust the actors to tell them what the actor, what the character would do, then it might be all right. because consistency of the characters would be the most important thing for me.
Yeah, definitely. We have Often in the house, brother. Thanks for being here. He says, hashtag release the shirtless Drax with main body.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah,
moly.
yeah, I would love that.
That would be epic. Star-Lord will
He will
return.
return.
He
The
will
legendary
return. And thanks-
Star-Lord will return.
legendary, which means Chris Pratt's obviously down for more.
Yeah, and which also kind of makes me think that it has to do with Nova or the Nova Corps, or yeah,
That
because
could be really
he
cool.
was talking to those guys about being the legendary Star-Lord, right?
He was.
Often the man, the myth,
Man.
the late
The late
SOB.
Thanks for being here, mate. All the slides were fantastic. You gave me a plethora to choose from.
Yeah, thanks.
I've had so much fun talking about it. So much fun talking about it. Any last points that you want to put? I know I had a few other things I was going to talk to you about, but let's just wrap it up. I think we've covered everything. If we've missed anything, let us know in the chat. But I just loved.
Yeah, so
from
you had
beginning to
one
end-
slide with the girl running, which
Yes.
afterwards ended up in the Guardians, which makes sense because it's Phyla Vel. So she might.
I don't
end
know
up in
much
the-
about her.
In the Marvel, she's like the sister of Genus Vel and the maid daughter of the original Marvel.
Okay.
So we could see in the MCU that the High Evolutionary got some genes from the Marvel, and then made her or something.
Okay.
And I think she will be like a cameo in the Marvels eventually.
Interesting. Jub Jub. Yeah, that was
Jub Jub.
cool. And all that moment with Drax understanding them and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Perfection. That was cool.
Monkey sounds. Dip 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 dip.
Yeah. Oh shit.
How is that a monkey?
Oh man. Gunn just did what a phenomenal job of just giving everybody a storyline and arc, giving them
yeah.
time to shine. They all had moments to time to shine. Drax even had a moment of shine when he was battling. You see how strong Drax is when he was battling Buddy
And a
Adam
warlock.
Warlock at the start. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. He was holding him back for a second, and he's meant to be so strong, right? So
Drax
shows
the
you how,
dad.
how strong he is. Yeah, fantastic. I loved it. I don't know what else to say, guys. I think it was a great cap to a trilogy, a fantastic win for Marvel at the moment. And I think I'm excited to see what they do with the Marvels. Actually, more so, Sam Jackson in the next series, which I'm super excited about, Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
Hour-long episodes, spy theme. Bring it on. Bring it on. Andre says, come out from behind there often. You're better
I think you're
than
missing
that.
a couple of chats, right?
Oh, shit. Okay. Man. I'd love a Young Avengers with Star-Lord leading. That would be funny. That could be a funny one. That's a comedy.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think he'll do that, to be honest.
Andre hides behind sofa. They're battling. Jub Jub. Oh my god, Rocket is for John. There you go. He's seen it. Yeah, Rocket's here, baby. Take that, Mike. Huh?
Oh yeah,
Come
about
at
the
me, Mike.
about the figure, dude. So, like I told you, I wanted to skip the new Rocket figure because I don't like having the Guardians uniform like 5 times, and having Rocket like 3 times. But he comes with Cosmo, and after seeing the movie, I thought, damn it, I need a Cosmo. And then I thought, I think one of his accessories is the key card, right?
I'm not sure.
Because he comes with something in his hands, and I didn't know what it was before I watched the movie. And now I'm thinking, if it's the key card, I really need to get them.
Yeah,
I need
that
to get
would
the
be
figure.
a great accessory. He probably
Yeah.
does have it. I just don't remember.
Yeah.
I thought he looks actually quite posable too. Some of the poses they got him in the shots of him jumping up and shooting. I haven't really played around with this one yet, so I don't know if he's capable of doing that. I think he might be. My initial feeling. It'll be fun. Bob says, "I'm just glad Star-Lord took responsibility for Infinity War." Yeah, so that was a great speech that he got to have.
Yeah.
I thought so. They did that well. If only Hot Rod would. Oh, I feel that. That hurts. How could you do that to Optimus? How could you do that to Optimus? Don't press PTSD. Don't bring that back, Anthony. Andres asks, which Guardian hot toy do you want from this film?
Damn.
Is the new Hot Toys rocket a disappointment? I want all of them, to be honest. I've got a vision now, and I hope they make them all so I can.
Yeah, so
make
I
this
kind
vision.
of don't like it when you have the same suit 5 times, but I still
Mm-hmm.
do need a Drax, so I don't care what suit Drax comes with. I'll get that.
Yep.
I really love that Groot one, so we'll need that.
Mhm.
And after seeing Cosmos and that key card, I might need to get that rocket as well, to be honest.
And then you're going to see the updated head sculpt on a Chris Pratt, and you're going to want to get that. And then you're going
Maybe,
to see
maybe.
Nebula might be a struggle because I don't know how they can, unless they give her a ton of attachments and an arm that can do.
Oh
lots of
yeah,
cool things.
that's what I was going to say. I really would like a Nebula with like an accessory pack. You could
Yes.
have lots of fun with that.
Yes, I think that would be amazing. See,
Yes,
and then
yes,
Gamora,
yes.
they haven't. Yes, yes, yes. They haven't hinted at Gamora, so whether they do her, I don't know. But I hope. They
Yeah, I
do.
don't need another Gamora, to be honest.
I feel like they'll do it in a way where I'll want to have it. I see. I'm okay with the whole suit thing because I'm thinking I would have them posed up. My goal is to have one pose set up of all the team, like you've seen in some of the advertising posters, where they're like leaning up against the wall or hanging out. I really like that look, and that would be a cool way to have a set displayed, and then to recreate the hallway scene in a whole case. I think would be. I'd love to have that as a set and forget display for those characters, as well as I don't. That's just how I look at it. That's how I collect.
Yeah, so
I'm
while
crazy
I'm
about that.
watching, I'm actually thinking about the hot toys that are coming. So I was actually afraid that they would release the Space Odyssey costumes, just like they did with Stanley, but then for
Yeah.
Guardians, and then 5 times
Yeah.
this. Because the release of Rocket and Groot kind of felt like the black and gold Spider-Man from No Way Home, with like an early release even before the movie was out. I think not a release, but a show. So I'm kind of thinking there is another set coming, but yeah.
Yeah, I think there's definitely more coming. When you tease all of them, hopefully that maybe they're releasing it early because they've got a lot of figures to announce. There's a lot of them, or maybe what you're saying is right. It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
What was Often saying here? Sorry, was the reason Rocket figured out the problem with the evolution was the code was at his eye level.
No,
Don't know
because
about
he's
that.
smarter. Just because
he's
he's
smart.
smarter.
Wish we get to see Cool's mask in the movie so Hot Toys can add it to the figures accessories. Yeah, see, James Gunn talked about that. He said it was supposed to be destroyed, and that's why he didn't use it. Because someone asked him that question.
Out of the way, Hot Rod. Just should have threw Hot Rod.
Yeah, I want a high evolutionary. Oh,
Yeah,
damn,
that could be cool. With rocks.
that could be cool.
Right, John.
Yeah. Just with that'd be great. Pre-ordered a third-party Drax a while back. I'm sure I'll be disappointed compared to the certain hot toy release coming. I didn't know that about it.
I just hope they don't recast it, because I actually detest companies that recast stuff.
Yeah, I don't, we'll see. Christmas special Drax might be good. Yeah, that would be good.
That would be good. With a little
Yeah.
green man and a sweater
Yeah,
and a
yeah,
candy
that'd be
cane.
cool. That would be
Are you
cool.
just waving off the ISB agent?
Yep. Someone's peeking. We're going to the markets this morning to get
Cool.
some treats for Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day. I need to.
Oh yeah,
I need to
so
treat
over there as
the
well.
lovely
Yeah.
Lani. Yes, yeah, over here as well. So I think that brings it to an end. Rather than drag it out, I've had a great time talking about it. I do have a rating. Let's do our ratings. I'd like to at least everyone get their rating in. I've just written out of 5 Guardians. I think what most of us are going to say. I think I'm just going to wait for Anthony and then do one more because that's how we do. But I'd love to know what you guys think. For me, it was 5 out of 5. Fantastic film. 6 out of 5 slushies. For
Yeah, so
Anthony.
for me, like I said, the Rocket origin story was perfect for me, and they could have fucked up the whole movie, and I still would have loved it because it was just so awesome. The way
Yeah.
they did it. It was for me. It was actually perfect, and then and the rest was good as well. So yeah,
Yeah. Hell yeah. I completely agree. I'm going to 6.1 then. It's not here yet. I guess you haven't got the figure yet.
Officer on deck. Wrap it up,
Wrap it
gents.
up, gents. 6 out of 5. Often gives it 4 out of 5. Bloated quill faces. For a
Yeah, I
second
didn't like
thought
the
he was
bloated
gonna
quill
die.
face because
Just for a second.
he was in space before and his face didn't bloat.
But he was celestial then. He's not now.
Hmm.
Boom. Managed. 4 out of 5. Good dogs.
Good dogs. Good dogs.
Nice. Yeah, look, we're over the moon. I think it's getting positive reviews everywhere, as it deserves. And I look forward to more rewatch ability when it comes out.
Yeah,
I just wanted
and
to come
I'm
out.
kind
on
of
Disney
afraid
Plus
what they're going
already.
to do with the characters if James Gunn isn't doing them.
Yeah. What's this
5
one?
out of 5
Raccoons.
raccoons.
Nice.
That's cool.
Often, hang on, out of 1, T5. Oh, T5. I thought it was a 1. I was like, what?
What's a T? Is it a typo or a
T5,
10?
yeah. Tell it.
Oh, 5 out of 5. Gordon
Condor,
fights. Yeah.
Condor fights.
Insane fight scene.
Insane fight scene.
Because not only is it well done fight-wise, but it also shows how much as a team, how much of a team they are.
Yes, 100%. A great team. Look, if you're going to ask for a final fight scene, why not do one of the best ever filmed for a team? Again, which I think for collectors, you're going to see a lot of collectors wanting to collect these characters, as I am the same. Like, it's just to cap it off and know how like these characters deserve to be loved and collected. They definitely earned it for me with how I feel about them. Lani's up. Good morning. Happy
5 out of
Mother's
5. Choo choo.
Day. Joop joop. Good rating, darling. I agree. We loved it. We absolutely loved it. That ship blowing up took ages. Yeah, that was hectic. And Cosmo holding a bloody ship together. There's so, look, I feel like there's still so much we didn't talk about, but in essence of time, we can't drag it out too long today, guys. We've got to get to our mamas. Look after our mamas. Almost as long a runway from the last 6. Yeah.
From Fast 6. Yeah.
Yeah. ISB salute. Yella, you get a salute. You get a salute, darling. Nice. All right, Anthony, let's wrap it up. What do you tell us? What are we seeing next? What was your next plan for your new video?
Yeah, so
coming out?
next, so Helen of your Iron Legion said there wasn't much posing content. So we did like a one-on-one posing session for Black Widow. I'm not going to make a video
Which
out
is
of that, but I am going to make like a posing tutorial for Black Widow because I never do tutorials, and apparently some
Yes.
people do want tutorials. So I guess I'll delve into that, and because of it, I'm actually really loving the Black Widow figure from the movie.
Hell yeah.
It's an awesome figure to pose.
Hell yeah.
And it's Nightcatcher, and I didn't expect that.
Some of the pictures I've seen already, it looks amazing. It looks like you can pose it up a treat.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with it. And I think it's actually a great idea for posing content because I love that stuff. I've always been toying around with in my mind wanting to do tutorials, but I never do it. So I'm glad you're going to do it because I want to see that type of content. I don't know if it's my thing to make, but I definitely want to see it.
and
I
if
think
someone
it would
else wants to
help
do
people.
like a one-on-one posing session, I might make content out of that as well because I really had a blast doing it, and you can delve so much further into why you actually collect stuff and why you want to pose, what you want to have out of your pose, because
Yes.
people get different values out of different poses or out of their toys.
Yeah, 100%. I think a big part of it for us, I mean, I think we both feel about it the same way. Posing up the characters, telling those little stories with the characters. It relates back for me back to I love storytelling. This is a way I get to tell stories and in a fun way with characters I love, and that's one of the main things I love about collecting. So creating displays and scenes to to just admire or take photos of or just enjoy or show people and get their thoughts and enjoyment out of it. I love it. So watching you, I think seeing you teach people how to do poses will enrich their collecting and also make great content for all of us. So I look forward to it, mate.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, man. And what about
I
you?
think it would be awesome. Before we forget, hop over to Anthony's channel if you're not following his channel. Give him a
Thanks,
sub. Let's get him to 1,000K because he deserves it. It takes a lot of time to do those posing videos, and he's off doing secret missions around the world, assassinating high-level
Around the
targets. So the fact that he still fits it in is amazing.
Maybe even in Australia soon.
Oh, look, we've got to start a fund to get Anthony to Australia. Perth, Western Australia. You'll love it. The beaches. I'm making a pitch. Lani, help me out if you're still listening. Let's get Anthony to Australia. To Australia. And then we can do a live rundown. How cool would that be together?
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be
That'd
cool.
be fun. Big table with figures to pose. Just blast it. That'd be sick. But for me, what I'm doing is I'm working on Mando and the Blurg. I just got Quill in as well, so I'm throwing him in some scenes because I'm loving playing around with displaying the Blurg with Mando. And I've got some new setups planned for the room. When I do eventually get it set up, I'm gonna have a big Mando display that can fit things like the Blurg and have scenes around it. And I've been posting pictures on my Instagram. And so if you're into looking at pictures, I love to post pictures and create little scenes, and I post them on Instagram, as does Anthony. Anthony's Facebook group as well. We post pictures in there, 6-scale poses. If you're into that stuff, go check that out. I'm doing a video on Mando on the Blurg, and that's nearly finished. I've got like 2 scenes to do, and then I've just got to do the audio and put it out. It's a different style again. I don't do any turntable stuff. Instead, I do different pictures of different angles and just play it along to some country and western music and kind of go on that country and western vibe of him riding the Blurg, being in the desert type feel. And then I've got too much content to make. I've got Shang-Chi and Wenwu fight scene, story styled showcase. I'm going to be doing a Guardians thing, obviously, with the figures I got coming in there. Still got Captain America. Lots to come, guys. So stay tuned. I will get through it as quick as I can. It's hard because I'm hyped up about Guardians right now. I just want to do content with them, but we'll get there.
Fight the hype, Joe. Fight the hype.
Fight the hype. Fight the hype. Fight the hype. I'm looking forward to showing you the Mando display one. I'm really happy with that. So that's coming soon. Other than that, we're going to have a chat about what's coming next on the channel. We haven't really planned anything yet, whether we'll try and figure that out. If we're going to try and get back on track, do something next week, we'll chat about that, whether it's a Q&A like you mentioned, Anthony, or a Marvel Phase 3. I'm open to do both. So maybe let us know in the chat what you'd like to see, and we'll look at doing something like that.
Yeah, no, I
more
would still love doing Tarantino movies. That would all be cool.
And Tarantino movies. Yes, we could start off one of those. That could be actually really fun. So let us know in the chat. If you're watching this after, put a message in the comments. I reply to all comments, and we'll organize maybe what we'll do next, because it could be down for delving into some Tarantino or whatever. So look forward to it. Other than that, guys, everybody for being here. Loved having you here. Often, thanks for the slides. You are a legend. We couldn't do it without your brother, and you make my life a hell of a lot easier doing that. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
Bob,
thanks
for being here. Yeah,
I already told John he needs to gift you a figure.
yeah, we'll figure it out. We're working on it. We're gonna. It's just my mic's cutting out. Yeah, no, we'll get there definitely. You're a champion. We appreciate it. Andre, thanks for being here, brother. AJ, thanks for being here. All channel members too. Absolutely love you guys. Ren's in the house. The Hawk Boy himself. Bob, thanks for being here. It was great to have you back, brother. And thanks for your input. Everybody's input. I know we had Austin was here for a bit. If you're still here, Austin, appreciate you, mate. Thanks for joining in the convo. Good luck with your channel. I hope I don't miss anybody. Mike, rockets for you. Take that in your face. Lose the bits. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here too, brother. We see you around. So we
Shane was here for a while.
Shane was here. Thank you, Shane. Go check out Shane's channel. He's got a channel too. I think hopefully that's covering everything. If I missed your name, I apologize. My memory sucks. I'm terrible. But I'm
You
always
already had
working on
AJ
it.
and Andre Rens, right?
And AJ, Andre, Lani, thank you for tuning in, my love. Appreciate your support. Happy Mother's Day. Let's go to the
like Bob
markets.
says.
Let's go have some fun. Yeah, Bob gave you a shout out. Everybody, let us know what you want to see next in the comments or the chat, and we'll figure it out and put a notice up this week. Anthony, as always, so much fun, brother. Thanks for being here. Thanks for chatting about the movie. Had a lot of fun. Have a great Mother's Day, everybody. Look after your mums. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.